Elevate button. This elevate button widget is used to create some of an elevated button which will representing even in columns as well as rows. So let's we see how to create this elevated button. So first written that it should be a center followed by you are going to create a column. Inside the column you should have to separate the elevated button respectively. And followed by you are going to use a main axis alignment that should be in minimum. So then we are going to indicate that is in children. The children should be enlisted in certain way. So first the children we are going to used in the widget is called elevated button. So first elevator and foremost is a null button which will display but there is no reaction followed. And followed by we are going to use the text that should be appear. The null button is called display. When you run the code you can see the output. So when you run the code you can see certain output like display. But when you on press this, there is no reaction because we didn't say that is an on press function was activated. Followed by we are going to create another elevated button. For that you should specifying a certain size box. So I'm initializing there should be an constant size box that's height is 30, followed by we are going to create another elevated button. The elevated button should have an on press functions and followed by the text is called enable. So this function will be display and react but there is no navigational place. So when you run the code you can see the output. There is an enabled function was in highlighted. When you click it will be act react but there is no property was inserted. Followed by we are going to add another elevated button, but in this we are going to see how to add an icon button by using elevated button dot icon. So we are going to use some of an properties. Before the property you're going to indicate an size box with a height of 30, followed by we are going to use a special iconic elevated button widget. So this button will specify the iconic to appear in the screen. So I'm giving the activities of on press followed by an label is called enable. And the enable label should have a certain icon. That icon should be a menu box. Even you can proceed with an icons which you wanted to provide. So when I run the code you can see that his and another elevated button was created. So this is your output. You can see that is an enabled text was provided and there is an icon which was shown. But even when you are giving a height, but the height was indicated only the 30, but the width was expanded due to your text and the icon. So in this way you can provide an buttons.